Hello, 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 and welcome to the entire Kingdom Hearts series in chronological order, The Road to Kingdom Hearts 3. This series is something I've been thinking about for a while, and oh boy, this is gonna be crazy. So, let me explain how this is going to work, to the best of my abilities. So, yes, we are doing this in chronological order. So we are starting with Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, and we are also going to do a summary of Kingdom Hearts Unchained Kingdom Hearts Cross, all the various mobile titles. I'm going to be doing a summary written by Nicole, aka Awesome in My World. I know annoyingly little about the mobile games, as do many people. And they're kind of important for Kingdom Hearts 3, it turns out. So, and the future beyond Kingdom Hearts 3. So I asked her to write a summary, and she's written me a brilliant 5-page summary that basically explains the crux of the mobile games, and it takes place just after this. But she's also written a tag along to this as well, so we're going to explain what the hell is going on in them. So the first part of this is going to be Kingdom Hearts Key, because that is really where the story begins, although technically speaking, it begins with Kingdom Hearts 1. The first game was Kingdom Hearts 1, which is about Sora, but the story begins! It's already confusing. So yeah, so we're starting with Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, because that is indeed where our story begins. And after Kingdom Hearts Key, we go to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And when I say chronological order, oh boy, do I mean that. We do the intro, then the Land of Departure as Terra, then Aqua, then Enchanted Dominion as Terra, Dwarf Woodlands as Terra, Dwarf Woodlands as Ven, Castle of Dreams as Ven, Castle of Dreams as Terra, Castle of Dreams as Aqua, Dwarf Woodlands as Ven, Enchanted Dominion as Ven, etc, etc, etc. It is properly in order. We will do the worlds in the order they actually visit them in the story. We're gonna switch between the stories because I'm nuts. The same will apply to Kingdom Hearts 1. After the final episode of Aqua in Birth by Sleep, we go to Kingdom Hearts 1 until the end of the world, at which point we'll switch back to Birth by Sleep, play the secret episode, play Kingdom Hearts 0.2 A Fragmentary Passage, and then go back to Kingdom Hearts 1, because I'm crazy, and that's technically the story order. Then with Kingdom Hearts 3 5 8 over 2 days, we'll go up to day 24, and then switch to Chain of Memories, because that's where that game takes place. So, do you see where I'm going with this? So, with how much I'm doing of the games, I'm going to be covering the entire game and secret bosses that are accessible to me. And when I say accessible to me, I mean, with Birth by Sleep, you really have, for each character, you have to grind hard, and it is not fun. I may have a save file which contains the bosses on them, and if they do, I will do them. Otherwise, for that game, I will skip the secret bosses. With all of the games, I will do the secret bosses, because the other games, the secret bosses that are available, I will do it. I'm not going for all trophies, because I've already done a playthrough of all trophies. And God, I'm not grinding to level 100 in Chain of Memories. Fuck that, that's awful. However, the biggest exception to the rule is Dream Drop Distance. That is the final game before Kingdom Hearts 3. And to that end, I did about 25 hours of grinding Dream Eaters to get everything in that game. And you know what? Beating the game in New Game Plus gives you a trophy. An in-game trophy, not a PlayStation trophy, an actual in-game one. And guess what? That New Game Plus trophy doesn't carry over into the other saves, so I have to grind it all again. So I am going to grind that game to the bone, because why the hell not? So, to that end, here we are. Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. It's not an X, it's a key. So, we are beginning the game fresh, fully, just, yeah, let's go. Let's just straight to the beginning. Let's do this. I'm so ready. If the game audio is too quiet, tell me, I will raise it. But I think it should be okay. I'll raise it a tiny bit. But yes. So, I'm nuts! It's great, isn't it? Isn't it fun? There's a lot of stuff that I've planned for it. I had to work through a lot of chronological stuff. Spend like an hour and a half working out how this is going to work. And I think it's going to be pretty great. So, this game is, this game is going to be, or this movie, I should say, is going to be kind of important. If you can, follow along. And then afterwards I will read a 5-page document on basically, yeah, all of Kingdom Hearts, Key, Unchained Key, and Cross, as far as it goes. Because it's still an ongoing story. There's a massive plot twist that sort of happened a week ago or so. So, like, it's still being updated. There's still a lot happening. So yes. I don't know any Spyro fans who prefer Enter the Dragonfly, but yeah. I'm doing good, Tomo. How are you? How are you? When it comes to Dream Drop Distance and the endless grinding, I will probably have people joining me because I will die otherwise. So yeah, this is great because this isn't copyright. This isn't copyrighted music. God bless. So yeah, there's a lot to read here. This text, whilst it is important, watch the movie. Anything the movie doesn't explain, hopefully the document will. As for the document explaining the story for Key, I am not going to be showing images alongside it because most of the characters show up in this, with the exception of 3 people, and they are the most recent 3 that are important. So, yes, just good. Just good. I love Face My Fears. I love everything about the Kingdom Hearts 3 opening, and that will be the final thing we actually do in this road. Again, if the audio is too quiet, please tell me, I will raise it. But we'll know when they actually start talking. So this is the case of Lushu, that is how that's pronounced, not Luxu.
So that makes you the indisposable number 7. Huh. Come on, it's simple. U6 plus me is 7. Wait, don't tell me I don't count.
No.
Here, take it.
This Keyblade's very important. It's very, very important.
In a mischievous way. He gave his apprentice Lushu a very important role. What seemed like a simple task was the element that would connect all of the events to come.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is gonna happen here. And again, what isn't explained here or what you don't understand, I will explain afterwards. So, I may as well put the controller down. Not really doing anything with it. So, we'll just watch the movie.
It all began here in Daybreak Town. The Master of Masters had an eye that gazes into the future. He bestowed upon 5 of his 6 apprentices a copy of the Book of Prophecies, in which was written the events to come.
The movie is, I think, an hour and 10 minutes or so, something like that. It's not too long.
So, did you look through the book?
Yes. But I'm still analyzing it.
Wow, no quick skim for you, huh?
I just prefer to be thorough. Master, is what it says in the last passage true?
Oh yeah, that. Bummer, huh?
Yes.
By the way, if one day I suddenly disappear, I'm counting on you to keep the others calm, okay?
Huh? disappear?
Vanish? Dim? Fade? I don't know how to explain it. It's just hypothetical talk.
Okay.
This world is full of light. It's a world comprised of many smaller worlds, all connected, stretching as far as the eye can see. One great light protects us all throughout this vast land. All worlds share one light, one fate.
I take it you're talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Yep, you're right on the money.
Oh look, Kingdom Hearts. Roll
People
credits.
believe that the light that is Kingdom Hearts will be here forever. But if it were to disappear, the world would be enveloped in darkness.
I understand. That is why you granted us these Keyblades. With these, we can spread the teachings of light. And we can protect Kingdom Hearts from darkness.
No, they're not for protecting Kingdom Hearts.
Huh?
The final passage reads, "On that fated land, a great war shall transpire. Darkness will prevail, and the light expire."
Isn't it our duty as Keyblade wielders to prevent this war from taking place?
Not possible.
What?
You really think you can change the future?
Then, what do you want us to do?
We have to focus on what comes after. There's no use thinking of ways to change events that we know are gonna happen.
But what about all of those who are here now? And the ones who will be here when the darkness finally comes? Are we to abandon all of them?
Come on, are you telling me that you think the world can be saved by just 7 people?
We have to at least try. With enough Keyblade wielders, we could...
Well, if you want to give it a shot.
Yes.
Alrighty, good luck.
The Master of Masters is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
And so the reliable Era, who wore the mask of the unicorn, was given his role to take over for the Master and to lead the others. Similarly, the virtuous Envy, who wore the mask of the snake, was given her role to watch over the others with a fair eye. The fearless Aced, who wore the mask of the bear, was given his role to support their brand new leader, Era. The prudent Ava, who wore the mask of the fox, was given her role to prepare exceptional Keyblade wielders for the world after. The cool-headed Gula, who wore the mask of
Yeah,
the
he's
Buck,
very much like
was given his role
Deadpool. That's
to
actually
uncover
what
the mystery of the Book
what
of
Nicole's put in her
Prophecies.
document. Master Deadpool is pretty much exactly what
the first of the apprentices to be given their role, watched his companions from afar
That
as
box!
they learned what it was that they were meant to do.
You will hate that box at the end of this movie. Right now it means nothing. Later you will hate it. You will hate it with a massive fiery
Not
passion.
long after that, the Master vanished, dimmed, and faded without a trace. This is where your story began. The story of your very own adventure. 5 of the Master's apprentices armed themselves with the Book of Prophecies. They each created a union. This would fulfill his wishes. Then, they set out to rally Keyblade wielders just like you. By defeating Heartless, the monsters of darkness, they would gather light.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts Key, not X or whatever. It's Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. Very important you get that right.
There's a traitor among us.
Are you certain? What proof do you have?
I found this sniffing around.
Is that a dark Cherothy?
Is that a nightmare?
It's the Dream Eater theme, the theme we will hate forever when we get to Dream Drop Distance.
Master, did you make this? It's so cute!
Well, things are gonna get pretty hectic around here soon. But this spirit Cherothy is gonna make your lives much easier. Hopefully.
Spirit?
You could say they're like cats or dogs. And they'll be your loyal pets. Every wielder will have one of these adorable little guys at their side. They're here to help, so play nice.
Okay.
Oh, right. Before I forget. If a wielder is overcome by malice, or rather if their heart is tainted by darkness, their adorable little spirit will turn dark and become a nightmare.
So you're telling us that if we see a nightmare...
Someone has fallen into darkness.
Exactly. And if you don't stop this renegade spirit, it'll plant darkness in the hearts of others. And you'll have an army of nightmares on your hands. Beware.
So, if we see one of these nightmares anywhere, we have to get rid of it on the spot.
No! I won't let you do that!
No wonder you ended up as the bear. You're scary.
Your point?
Maybe you can growl at them.
Ugh, don't insult me!
Come on, Hassan. You won't know if it works unless you try.
Please tell me you're joking. It's not me!
There's an easy way to solve this. If we all summon our spirits, then we'll know.
Unfortunately, there are countless wielders in our unions. It would be easy for any of us to summon a Cherothy that isn't a nightmare. I'm afraid that your suggestion wouldn't help us get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, in that case, who's to say that the nightmare you saw belongs to one of us? It could belong to anyone in our unions.
That's highly unlikely. Do you recall the tool the wielders were given in order to make them stronger? We generally don't concern ourselves with what they have at their disposal. However, I believe those tools were the nightmare's doing.
The bangles. I know when they're equipped, they have the power to collect dark energy. But I thought we all agreed that was okay.
Collecting is fine, but using that power is the equivalent of using the power of darkness.
It's a brilliant plan. Everyone knows that all spirits look the same, and wielders exist in spades. There's no way to tell.
Oh no. Everyone's already equipped their bangles.
So what now? How do we find out who's behind this?
Seeing as those bangles couldn't have been acquired by just anyone, I believe it's one of us here in this room.
No, Ira. I respectfully disagree. What proof do we have that the bangles are tied to the power of darkness, or if a nightmare is to blame? We shouldn't simply jump to conclusions.
Ira, some leader you are. You've managed to plant seeds of doubt in all of us with that speech. What, did you expect the traitor to give themselves up with that accusation of yours? That was foolish.
Ased, that's quite enough.
It looks to me like the Master made the wrong choice.
Wait, where do you think you're going?
I think we're done here. I trust you'll keep us all updated.
I hope we can all resolve this soon.
That didn't go as expected.
What's wrong, Ira? This isn't like you.
A lost page. Something's missing from our book of prophecies. Each of our copies were said to contain the events of the future. But this incident, well, it's nowhere to be found.
And how does this whole thing with the traitor tie together?
Like I said, it's nowhere to be found. In my book.
Ira, are you implying that someone is in possession of the missing page? And the person with the complete book is the traitor?
There is something going on, and a page is suspiciously missing from the book. It's not so far-fetched to assume that the one who has the lost page has been turned, that they have fallen into the hands of darkness. Trust me.
There seems to be no record of it in my book either. You may be onto something. I wonder, could this have been the Master's plan all along? To grant the lost page to only one of us?
We have no way of knowing. The Master is gone.
I understand what you were saying. I promise to keep a close eye on the others. I will keep you informed, as always.
Thanks.
Of course. After all, that is what the Master asked of me.
There's a lot going on.
And Ira, may your heart be your guiding key.
That's a phrase that exists now. Take note of that. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Just try and keep up if you're new. Trust me, I will try and make it make sense
So,
after
to sum it
the
up,
movie is done.
I'll need you to observe the others.
Also, the
Crazy.
movie itself should sort of explain it as it goes
Right.
on, but there's a lot to keep up with.
Like I said, Ira may have to take over for me. But don't be shy. Just be fair. And do not be afraid to speak up. Even though I say observe, you'll need to be the mediator. Make sure people get along.
I understand, but without you or Lushu, to form and maintain our own unions is... it's a little unnerving, to be honest.
Oh, come on. Lighten up a little. Maybe I'll never disappear. Wait. Do you want me to go?
What? No, of course not.
I was just kidding.
Oh, I see.
Look, I get that change can be hard for everyone, but things need to keep moving forward. And you need to keep up. Otherwise, you'll just get left behind, all alone. Now that you know what the future holds, Invi, what does your heart say? May your heart be your guiding key. I say it all the time. You ultimately need to do what your heart feels is right.
Right.
Yes, may your heart be your guiding key. Dawn and Goofy are not in this. This
Bring
is
me
purely
crystals.
before
I was wrong about
everything that happens in the
I
Cage
thought he
series
would make a
outside
great
of the
leader.
mobile games.
He let me down. Well, what do you two think? You don't believe what Ira said.
By the way, thank you very
do
much
you?
for the bits.
Of course not. His argument was unconvincing.
I'll turn up the game
It's
audio
what
a
can be
bit.
said. He's just making baseless assumptions.
So
given
it
the
doesn't get
situation.
destroyed by the
There's no
noises.
evidence to tie his accusations to anyone, let alone one of us.
Maybe there's something he hasn't told us.
And he needs to tell us. How dare he look at us with suspicion?
Yeah, I can hear
We're his
Knuckles in that now.
comrades.
For sure.
I wouldn't
So yeah,
call
this
it
is...
combat.
This is Dawn and
Anyway,
Goofy are in the mobile games,
did
but
you get to the
they're
point?
technically
I know
not,
you didn't
sort
call
of.
us
I
here
will
just to
explain that
complain.
afterwards.
I want the three of us
These
to form
characters are
an
not in any of
alliance.
the other Kingdom
But
Hearts games,
alliances
to
are forbidden,
clarify
you
as
said.
well.
I knew it.
But they're kind of
I had a
important.
feeling it would come to this.
So, yeah,
So,
there's a lot to
Join
take
forces, then
in.
confront Ira?
It's a lot of stuff
Confronting him
that
is pointless.
seems
Ira won't change his
pointless,
mind.
but it isn't. It's kind of
I know
important
there's darkness at
in the
work.
grander scheme of things.
There's no question. But
The Master of
I don't
Masters is
believe for a
arguably the
second
most
there's a
important
traitor
thing
among us.
in the entire
Unfortunately,
series.
Ira doesn't share the same belief. He's just
Sort
wasting
of.
time trying to figure out who the
You'll
traitor
see.
is.
You'll see.
But darkness won't wait, and neither should we. We need to band together now and find a way to fight it.
Guess it makes sense.
I agree that we need to do something to fight the darkness. But combining our unions? That was strictly forbidden by the Master.
He's no longer here.
I'm in. But let's be clear. The alliance is just between the two of us right now. I don't want my union members involved.
Gula! I want to follow the Master's teachings.
Understood. That's your choice to make. You should do whatever you feel is right.
Yeah.
By the way, Ased, do Ira and Envy know?
I haven't talked to Ira about it for obvious reasons, but I did ask Envy to join us.
You wanted to see me? Gula, Ava, what are you doing here? What's the meaning of this?
Hear me out, Envy. I want an alliance among our unions. Gula here has already agreed. Will you join us? And together we can—
And disobey the Master's teachings?
We don't have a choice! Darkness is approaching, and we need to combine our strength to stand against it.
The Master bestowed each of us with a different role, and he specifically told us to keep our union separate, to maintain the balance of power. He told us that any imbalance would lead to a desire for more power, which leads to darkness. I know you haven't forgotten. Perhaps it's you who has been tainted by darkness.
I'm tainted by darkness? Then what about you, Envy? You spy on us and report everything you see back to Ira. You really think you have no darkness in your heart after what you did?
Because that is my role.
To observe us, yes, but not to disclose everything we say and do to Ira.
That's...
For all we know, you and Ira could be allies, scheming behind our backs.
That's enough.
Well, the rent thing is entirely optional, but a guy's got to eat and a guy's got to live. But I love how this entire story is just...
When will it stop?
Like...
I don't want us to turn
a
against each other.
cloud and like a thought of doubt like exploding
Master
for everyone. It's pretty good.
Oh, hello. Your name is Ephemer, right?
Uh-huh. Hey, can I join you?
Uh-huh.
Why the long face? Did something happen?
Long day. Do you remember what you asked me before? About why the unions compete against each other instead of working together. Actually, I always wondered the same thing.
Huh? Isn't it just because the Master said so?
Yes. And as such, we must obey. The Master said so, so it is. But lately, I've really started to wonder. You once told me that you were looking for answers. That you wanted to solve the mysteries of this world. Well, I think that's how things should be.
I love how this game looks.
We need to question
It's
things
stunning.
and think for ourselves.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to look even better, so
Whoa!
there you
You are
go.
really not yourself today. I guess even foretellers have their off days. Hey, maybe talking about the book will cheer you up.
Not a chance.
Aww.
You were trying to pull a fast one on me, weren't you?
Oh, no, I was joking.
If you say so. But, to be honest, I think it would be great if all the unions could work together and be friends.
You know, I made a friend from another union today. Wasn't much of a talker, maybe just shy. We're meeting again tomorrow.
That sounds like so much fun. Then, you'd better go home and get some sleep.
Okay.
Scarfera.
Well, it was nice talking to you. I don't know what's got you down. But please cheer up.
Thank you.
Don't worry, it's about to get a lot worse. A lot
The
worse.
worst happens. I'll be glad to leave the future to the kids who see the world in the way that you do.
Again, it's about to get so much worse.
Let the wind carry you far, far away. My dandelions.
Envy. Have you learned something?
It seems Ased and Gula's unions are now allied.
So Ased is the traitor after all.
No, I don't believe he is.
Why's that?
To Ased, unification is a means of gathering strength to oppose the darkness. So I believe his heart still belongs to the light.
Even so, forming alliances was strictly forbidden by the Master.
Yes, and his teachings are absolute. That's why I will try and persuade Gula to dissolve their alliance.
Then I'll do it.
No. Please, let me do the talking. Your intervention will do nothing more than spur Ased's anger.
All right. I'll leave it to you.
And one more thing. Ased has begun to question the two of us. As a precaution, my reports will be less frequent. I don't want him to get the wrong idea. Please understand.
Yes, I do.
Tabriz, this is a movie. Like, this isn't a cutscene. This is a movie. This particular game is not a game. Just to clarify, this is a story explaining a lot of backstory. There will be games. There will be a lot of gameplay. This is not it.
I think I'm done.
just so you know. There will be gameplay later.
I think it's time to call it quits.
But not right now.
For what reason?
To put it simply, I entered this alliance thinking we were preparing to fight some impending darkness, but it hasn't come. In fact, there haven't been any suspicious incidents recently, and you haven't rallied anyone else to your cause.
Yeah, but...
This alliance is meaningless. Even Envy agrees. Oh.
Envy?
Uh-oh. You weren't supposed to find out.
Is Envy the one who told you to break our alliance?
Maybe. But I'm the one who decided to do it. And I've already told you why.
But we don't even know who the traitor is yet!
It's been months.
And that's exactly why. I just can't trust anyone but myself.
Don't you realize you won't stand a chance against the darkness on your own?
Sorry, my mind's made up.
Envy, you will regret this.
You been here long? My bad.
No.
So, what did you want?
You didn't forget, did you? You're the one who called me here.
Lighten up! I was just kidding. I didn't forget. Give me a little credit here. I was just testing you.
Right.
Now then, allow me to tell you about your role. You're going to be Ira's right-hand man.
What? Ira's
What?
right-hand man? What do you mean?
Well, Ira's gonna be the new leader after I'm gone, you see. So, Just stand by him. Don't disappoint.
Explain to me, Master. What do you mean Ira's going to be leader?
What? Is that disappointment I hear? Did you want to be leader?
No! I mean, if you had asked me to be the leader, that's a different story, but I wasn't trying.
You really want to be leader, huh?
Well...
I know you want it, but that just isn't enough. Any chump can say, here's a huge promotion, good job, and make you head honcho. But enthusiasm alone doesn't make a great leader. Ira needs someone like you to give him a push in the right direction.
I agree. Ira is definitely the most worthy among us. I'm sure he'll make a fine leader.
Then it's settled.
Wait, I agreed that he is worthy. But why do we need a new leader, Master? Does that mean you will no longer be teaching us?
Well, I might disappear one day. Well, I might disappear.
Disappear? Why? Where?
Speak up sooner if you're listening. It was embarrassing for me. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna disappear or not. It's anyone's guess right now.
But...
In any case, you need to support Ira. We both know he's quite serious. He's always just thinking and thinking and thinking behind that unicorn mask of his. So everyone will be counting on you to spur him into action.
Right.
You might not be entirely happy with your role, but just know that it's the most important one. Capiche? Now, shall I elaborate? Making Ira the leader is all good in theory, but sometime later you might think, he's terrible at this. In which case it'll be your job to step up. Who knows? Your leadership might be just what everyone needs. And that is your true role. May your heart be your guiding key.
He's a magnificent
Best of luck, I'll say.
manipulator. Magnificent.
It's been over a year since the Master left. It's time for me to fulfill my true role.
Well, isn't this going well? What a change!
Why do you get in my way?
Don't be so conceited. I'm protecting the balance, just like the Master told us to. You need to come to your senses!
If we don't do something, light will expire. Then we won't be able to avoid the grim future that awaits. We need to defy the Master's teachings to protect the world.
You're saying he was wrong?
He's not here anymore. I won't let his prophecy come true. I won't let the world fall into darkness.
You fool!
I'm pretty sure this is the end of the 5th Harry Potter film. Like, exactly. I remember that bit when Dumbledore and Voldemort used Keyblades, and like, it's pretty similar.
Ava, over here!
Envy! Ased! What's going on?
I found out who the traitor is. Regrettably.
No, that's not true!
Ava, there's no time to lose.
heart be my guiding key.
Nice. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, didn't this go well? Casting some doubt. Starting a war. You know, good stuff, good stuff. That's, yeah, that's what you hope to expect.
Master. Master?
Oh, I see.
If you're busy, I can always come back later.
Sure. Oh, no, stay. Now, where? Ah, here it is.
What's this?
Go on, read it.
This is from the Book of Prophecies. But
Yep. It's a page that's not in any of your books.
and what's written here is
Your role. You must find the traitor hidden among you, and stop them before it's too late. And in order to help you find the traitor...
I get it. That's why you gave us all different roles, isn't it? If anyone deviates from the job they were given, we can easily conclude that they are the traitor. It's brilliant.
Way to steal my thunder, show off.
Huh?
It's not fair. My plan was supposed to blow your mind with its grandeur. Your jaw should have hit the floor at my sheer genius.
I'm sorry? But was my logic flawed?
Oh, you're right. So, I guess now you've earned your time in the limelight. Even though there is a traitor, act normal and keep focused. Trust no one but yourself.
Trust no one but myself.
Hey, Humble. How are you? We have only not too much longer left of this, I wouldn't imagine. As we're getting to the end, I'm pretty sure.
Do you want to know what my role is?
Huh?
The books we were given are incomplete. There's a lost page.
Lost page?
On that page, it is written that there is a traitor. The Master told me to find and stop that person.
I called you my comrade. But never again, Gula. It doesn't matter to me if you think I am the traitor, and you want to strike me down. You knew there was a traitor, and you just watched silently as we fought each other. And I won't forgive you for that.
You can barely stay on your feet. Just give up already.
Don't you underestimate me!
This is good timing on that host, by the way. Thank you. That was nice. It's been a while since we've had one of those. That was good.
Please stop!
It's nothing quite like a moment ruiner than that, but I love it. Thanks, Humble.
Why? Why did it have to come to this?
Come to finish me off? Then make it quick.
That's not what brought me here today. I wish to fulfill the role bestowed upon me. That's all. It isn't our place to try to change the events of the future. That is not our mission. We're here to make sure that light lives on. With only 5 lights, we can't afford to lose any.
You still count me as one of the 5 lights?
Of course.
Only you could be such a good guy after everything we've been through. But hey, I guess that's one of the reasons I respect you so much. However, we still might only be 4. I'm talking about Gula. He's using the knowledge of something called the Lost Page. He said that it contains events that are missing from all of our books. He's using it to discover and apprehend whoever is the traitor. Claims that's his role. But who knows what his real intentions are? What I do know is that I'll never forgive him for hiding the fact that he knew someone would betray us. That's the biggest betrayal of all.
I'd like to believe that Gula was simply carrying out his role. Aset, I'll deal with this matter. Please keep it to yourself for now.
Understood.
I need to see that lost page.
Why did you tell Ira? It had to be you, because you were the only one who knew where we were hiding. Didn't you think for a second that your actions could be making things worse than they already are?
And why should that even bother you? Not only do you have your union, but you've also gathered the finest Keyblade wielders from other unions, and you're training them in a secret location, aren't you?
Yes, because that is my role!
I had no idea. I apologize. I overstepped.
No. I shouldn't have snapped at you either.
What did Ira want?
I don't know exactly. He just asked me to give up Gula. His eyes, they were scary. I was worried he'd do something awful. I knew I couldn't tell him where Gula was. Then he turned around and walked away.
I see. And Gula? How is he doing?
I don't know. He's gone.
Pretty soon we're going to have another scene with the Master of Masters, and it actually plays the Master of Masters theme. And it's basically a piano solo with random keys. And I think it's one of the best songs in the Kingdom Hearts series because it's so weird. But it's just, it's one of those themes that isn't actually released anywhere, and it's very disappointing because it's great.
Take care of him. Ira? Is something wrong?
I know Gula's here.
What?
Tell me where he is.
But why? What are you going to do?
None of your concern.
Don't.
What?
I won't let you near him.
So that's it. All right. I'll go.
Well, that was easy.
Gula, what are you doing?
Something happened?
Ira was here. He wanted me to give you up.
I knew it. It's finally come to this.
Come to what?
Everyone wants to know about the lost page.
The lost page?
Yeah. It's a page the Master gave me. It doesn't exist in any of our books. It contains a passage about an inevitable betrayal. It talks about the one who bears the sigil. That's it. So, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. My role is to find out who it is. I suspected Ased and went to confront him. And look what happened.
Why are you telling me this, Gula? I have enough to think about, keeping with the Master's teachings and my role.
Always walking the straight and narrow. I'm a fool for basing my actions on what is written on that lost page. Everything in the passage is ambiguous at best. That's why I need to find out.
But how?
By asking the Master.
But he's not here anymore.
I'm going to summon Kingdom Hearts.
What?
Then he'll have no choice but to come back.
Summoning Kingdom Hearts is forbidden!
That's exactly why! The only way to get him back is to break the rules. If things don't change, the entire world is doomed. But, in order to go through with it, I'll need Lux. I don't have nearly enough. You always do the right thing. Help me with this.
I'm sorry. I know you want the Master to return. But you don't know how summoning Kingdom Hearts will affect the rest of the world. The Master, he forbid it for a reason. I'm afraid I can't help you.
I see. May your heart be your guiding key.
Ghoul is on a mission to collect Lux.
Ah. That explains why Ased and Ira are as well. They're trying to maintain the balance. But that isn't the balance we were expected to keep. If everyone's collecting light solely for themselves, Keyblade wielders will soon turn against one another, which will lead to the Keyblade War.
Then what's written in the book, all of it will happen.
Light will expire.
Envy, what are you going to do?
I'll gather Lux too. No matter what, the balance must be kept. Ava, you do the same. We must delay the inevitable.
Right.
Oh, I completely forgot about this scene. Yeah, I don't think there's too much longer, like 10-15 minutes. Just brace yourself for the box. The box. The box. Also, the yellow eyes.
What's written in the last page of the book is gonna happen. The entire world will be lost to darkness.
But Master, isn't there anything we can do?
Well, that's what brings me to your role. You might just be the only hope of keeping light from expiring.
Hope? Master, what is it that you need me to do? Oh.
Don't get involved in any battles. Forget the notion of unions. Find Keyblade wielders with potential and create an entirely separate organization. Then, like the seeds of a dandelion, let them fly to another world. They will keep the light alive.
You really think that I'm the right person for this?
Ava, you're the only person for this.
I understand. Today you're here to continue with your training for our mission. This session may seem like it's familiar to you, but in a world that is different, one may
Is that
dream.
Rise on the left? That's straight up Rise.
You are our hope. A war will soon wage. Those who strive to protect the light will turn their weapons on their allies for the sake of loyalty to their own unions. To be honest, I don't know how far I can
Also,
guide all.
Rise's on the right now. There's two of her.
You must remember is that anyone can lose themselves to the darkness. However, there will be no winners. Everything will be lost. Except all of you who are the seeds of hope. When the time comes, and there is war, you mustn't fight, but instead you must fly away from here to the world outside. This training is to help you fulfill this crucial task. The future is in all your hands, as is the world's light. May your hearts be your guiding key.
Here we go. This theme is pretty great.
The gazing eye?
It's not what it's called.
Oh, what then?
Actually, no name.
No name.
Well, gazing or not, that Keyblade does have an eye in it. My eye, to be exact.
Ew!
Oh, you think that's gross, do ya?
No.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, about your role. You need to pass down that Keyblade to your apprentice and then him to his, so that my eye can see the future.
So the Book of Prophecies.
Bingo! The fact that it exists is proof of your success. That means you've trained a worthy apprentice, passed down that handsome Keyblade, and fulfilled your role. Congratulations! What's the matter? Come on, you did a fantastic job. At least smile a little.
But I haven't done anything yet.
Good point. Guess you better get started then. Unfortunately, you'll have to go alone from here on out. No Book of Prophecies to keep you company either. I can't have you causing any temporal paradoxes. But hey, we both know you'll do just fine without it, right?
Do I really have to go alone? What about the others?
Minor details, so don't sweat it. For now, you, that Keyblade, and this box need to stay out of sight. Just watch with your own eyes, and my eye, of course, as things unfold between the others. Then, when the time is right, go off and do your thing.
What's in it?
It's a secret. And, well, you see, the thing is, you can never, ever open it.
Great, now I really want to know.
All right, I'll indulge you. But this secret stays between the two of us, and you have to promise never to open the box.
I promise. But why?
You'll see.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
May my heart be my guiding key.
And there you have it. That's the story. That box. What is it? So, no name. The Keyblade there. That Keyblade is indeed Master Xehanort's Keyblade, the main villain throughout the whole series, so to speak. That is his Keyblade. And as it turns out, it belongs to the Master of Masters, has his literal eye, so it is gone throughout time and he can see the future and create the Book of Prophecies. And yeah, there's a lot of questions that have no answers, and that's the beautiful part about it. So, as I mentioned earlier, my friend Nicole, awesome in my world, she has written a 5-page summary. Thank you very much for the bits. She has written a 5-page summary on Kingdom Hearts Key, the mobile games, all of them. And basically, including, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, including a sort of summary of what we just watched as well, because, yeah. So I'm going to read this as she has written it. If you have any questions, I will try and answer it. I don't know much more beyond this, what I'm going to read to you. I'm going to add... I'm just going to have this and Dearly Beloved play, because it will go back to the main menu, and Dearly Beloved is pretty good. But yes, this is going to try and explain everything that happened in the mobile games, which, as you may know, and realise at this point, are quite important as judging by the box. So, the box there. I don't think the box will have massive relevance, if that makes sense. We know that Maleficent is after it, but we do not know why. I don't think the box is going to really... Beyond that, I don't think the box is going to be mentioned until the very end of the game, and Xehanort's going to open it. Beyond that, I don't know. But anyway. So we're going to start with what we just watched, Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. A Keyblade Master, known as the Master of Masters, or as Nicole likes to call him, Keyblade Master Deadpool, has trained 6 apprentices to become Keyblade Masters and protect the one world from being consumed by darkness. Their names were Ira, Aced, Invi, Gula, Ava, and Lushu. Master Deadpool also had books of prophecy that he gave to every apprentice, aside from Lushu. The books foretold the future and predicted that there will come a time that light would vanish from the world, and it would be consumed by darkness. And all but Gula's book were missing a page, but we'll get to that later, but we already technically know this. Anyway, Era wanted to prevent this future, but Master Deadpool said it was inevitable. Regardless, Master Deadpool approved the idea of Era, Aced, Invi, and Gula forming unions to train new Keyblade wielders, and at least delay the end of the world. Deadpool then created... I love saying Deadpool, it makes it so much funnier. Deadpool's created the Chiffy. Chiffy, is that how it's pronounced? No, Chirify, sorry, not Chiffy. Chirify spirit. Dream Eater. It is a Dream Eater, which is bound to a Union Keyblade wielder, guides them to their missions, and tracks their growth. However, if a Keyblade wielder is consumed by darkness, the spirit will turn into a nightmare, which Deadpool warns will cause trouble to the Unions. Love calling it Deadpool. After the giving out of the books of prophecy, giving the foreteller new masks and aliases, so Era is the Unicornus, Aced Ursus, Invi Anguis, Ava Vulpius, and Gula Lepidus. And creating Chirify, Master Deadpool then begins to assign tasks to the 6 apprentices. Era would be the leader of the foretellers. Aced would be Era's right-hand man, but would also intervene if he felt Era wasn't doing his job. Invi would be a mediator and observing all the foretellers' actions. Ava would recruit Keyblade wielders who didn't feel bound to unions and displayed a resistance against darkness into a group known as the Dandelions, who would escape to the end of the world by travelling to a new one, and Gula would use his extra page in the Book of Prophecies to find a traitor that existed amongst the 5 foretellers. Lushu, who had not received the book, or Fursona, as Nicole said, instead received Master Deadpool's Keyblade, No Name. In No Name was Master Deadpool's literal eye, and Lushu was to watch the Keyblade War eventually unfold with it and see what came after. When it came time for Lushu to take on an apprentice, he was to pass No Name to that apprentice, who would then pass it on to their apprentice, and so on and so forth. This would allow Master Deadpool to see into the future and eventually write the Book of Prophecies in the past. Deadpool also gave Lushu a black box and told him never to open it, and we don't know what's in it, and now Maleficent wants it, and Xehanort wants it, and what's in the fucking box, Nomura? That is literally what Nicole wrote. Anyways, after the Dream Eaters were made, books were dispensed, Fursonas were created, and roles given, and the Master of Masters disappeared, never to be seen again. That... Oh, give me a sec. Give me 1 second. Elgato... yeah, it was in all caps. It was in all... it was in all caps. It was there. It was in all caps. Of course it was. Anyway, so that's that. So now we're on to Kingdom Hearts Key, the browser game, and also a bit of back cover. So, by the time our character appears into the story, there seems to be a well-established system going on. The Keyblade is granted to the wielder, they learn about their roles and their union, and are warned that not everyone fighting has the same goals. The player is granted their Chirify, and they go off to collect light to protect the world from darkness. Interestingly, the player appears to travel to separate worlds, but in reality they remain in Daybreak Town, but travel to simulations of Disney worlds that appear in the future. This allows them to collect the light of the world without having to actually go anywhere, and this is due to the Book of Prophecies. Since the book has records of future worlds, it is able to conjure those worlds and enemies in the past, which is why Emblem Heartless exists there. The book also allows the player to channel power from the future to fight, which is done through cards in Key and medals in Unchained Key and Union Cross, which means that the player isn't exactly fighting under their own power. Eventually, the foretellers try an additional tactic, using the power bangles to turn darkness into light. By travelling to darker dimensions and defeating Heartless, the darkness they're exposed to, the darkness they're exposed to is captured by the bangle and turned into light, ideally. After a while, Era is revealed that a nightmare Chirify has appeared and believes it's evidence that a traitor is among them. It appears the bangle's power has been misused, this is part of back cover of course, and is allowing Keyblade wielders to channel darkness to fight, which introduces enemy cards and medals. After Era's accusation unsettles the rest of the foretellers, he confides in Invi that he noticed that the event of a traitor is missing from their books of prophecy, and suspects that whoever has the lost page is the traitor. Every foreteller's action becomes suspicious from this point on. Aced, believing Era is no longer capable as a leader, wishes to defy the Master of Masters' orders and form alliances with Ava, Gula, and Invi. Gula accepts that because he suspects Aced to be the traitor, due to his knowledge from the Lost Page, and it states that the person who rejects the future and works against it is the traitor, but will also bear the recusant sigil. So, but Ava and Envy don't. Envy also suspects Aced now, since he is defying the Master's orders, and warns that Aced's actions could cause a vacuum of power that those consumed by darkness would try to fill. Sometime later, the player meets Ephema, a Keyblade wielder who isn't tied to his union, but wants to learn more about the Book of Prophecies. The player had a dream regarding the Foretellers and the Daybreak Town Clock Tower, so the two try to find an entrance, even though visiting the room inside is forbidden. Ephema and the player end their day by finding the entrance and promise to explore the clock tower the next day. Ephema then speaks with Ava, who is frustrated over the infighting between the Foretellers. They apparently spoke before about what it would be like if the unions worked together, and Ava agreed that they should. This surprises Ephema, considering it's against the Master and Master's orders. The two end their conversation when Ephema says he needs to rest before meeting the player the next day. So when he's like, "Oh, I met someone yesterday. It was pretty great." That in the movie, that was us. Oh, thank you very much.
God tier.
Oh man, 18 months in a row. Jeez, that's crazy. Thank you very much. But Nicole, I'm gonna go back to the page here and read this. So the two end their conversation when Ephema says he needs to rest before meeting the player the next day. Except Ephema's a fucking liar. There you go. He actually goes back to the underground entrance to the clock tower and plans to explore it by himself. Ava stops him to tell Ephema he has been chosen for a special mission. He will be a dandelion and is to travel to a new world to await the arrival of the rest of them when the Keyblade War starts. Ephema accepts his position and leaves without letting the player know. The player waits for Ephema all day, but he never shows. Months pass with no leads on who the traitor is. Gula dissolves the alliance between him and Aced, but accidentally lets slip that he's been talking with Envy about the alliance. Aced, furious about Envy's interference and believing Ira has completely failed as a leader, attacks Envy and asserts that he will prevent the Keyblade War. Gula, who has been watching from afar, joins Envy and asks Ava to join him in taking down who they believe is the traitor. Somehow Aced gets away only to be tracked down by Gula, who reveals his knowledge of the Lost Page because he thinks he found the traitor. Aced is furious that Gula knew that these events were going to happen and didn't tell anyone about it, and while injured manages to severely injure Gula. Ava stops Aced from killing Gula and hides from Envy and Ira. Aced is found by Ira, who still considers him one of the Five Lights and helps him recover. Aced tells Ira about Gula's lost page, making Ira, Envy, and Aced consider Gula being the traitor. After suffering this defeat, Gula, now distraught over having found the traitor, wants to summon Kingdom Hearts in the hope that it will bring their master. He asks Ava to help him, but she doesn't want to go against the Master and Master's teachings. And I bet you're tired of hearing that. After Gula leaves, she begins to look for Luciu, who has been missing this entire time. While this is going on, the player befriends Skuld, a girl from Ephema's union, who was told about the player by him in a dream she had. Skuld and the player want to find Ephema and decide to explore the clock tower. Seeing Envy and Aced fight and hearing from Chiraphy that there's been tension between the foretellers, Skuld and the player are eager to find out what is going on. Ava, disguised as another foreteller, fights the player to test their strength and deems them and Skuld worthy to be part of the Dandelions. Skuld agrees to join because she'll get to see Ephema, but the player is reluctant, as all their other friends who were not chosen would then perish in the Keyblade War. Because Gula wants to summon Kingdom Hearts, he's gathering light at a higher rate. Envy and Aced and Ira also begin to do so to maintain balance. Envy is aware that this will eventually lead to the Keyblade War, since rumours about users of darkness and traitors have been spreading around, but there is no way to avoid the war. Skuld and the player, looking for Ava, find Gula, who tells them of the nature of the traitor, and at the same time Ava finds Luciu. Luciu reveals his role to Ava. His observations have convinced him that all of what has transpired is the Master's will, even the Keyblade War. Ava won't accept it, claims Luxu to be the traitor, and attacks him, marking the beginning of the end. The Nightmare Chirfi, who had previously revealed that he was the one who messed with the power bangles and turned Keyblade wielders into creatures called Darklings, and that is important, reveals himself to the player's second Chirfi. The darkness manifested in a second Chirfi, and now it wants to drag the player into darkness before they escape with the dandelions. Upon being defeated, the Nightmare vows it will see the player again in a new dream. The Keyblade War begins and ends. The player, too weak to go on from fighting multiple foretellers, including Ava, falls into battle, but before they die, Ephema and Scold appear to take the player to a new world, saving them from death. The player emerges in a world that wasn't a part of the worlds conjured by the Book of Prophecies in the old world, and it is Enchanted Dominion. With no memory of what happened after Ava told them about the dandelions, the player and Chirfi depart, but we are shown that Maleficent is in this simulated world, hiding from Sora, and that is the end of the browser game. So now we go to Unchained Key and Union Cross. So don't worry, we are actually near the end, if that helps. So to sum up from that, the Master of Masters, or Deadpool, is a massive troll. No one was technically a traitor here. If anything, he was the traitor. No one was a traitor. Everyone had their own roles and their own doubts, and those doubts fed into more and more and more and more. And yeah, that basically just that tricked everyone into thinking everyone else was a traitor or someone else was a traitor, and that's just... Yeah, the browser game was only in Japan, I believe. So yeah, the Master himself is the traitor, because he's obviously going through time, writing the Book of Prophecies, seeing everything that's transpired, has something in our box, and is basically leading up... It wouldn't surprise me if it was him in the box, to be honest, and he is the villain beyond the Keyblade War, because ultimately, we know Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be, it's going to be Xehanort and his 13 Darkness, or 12 other Darkness, he being the 13th, and against the 7 Light, and it's going to be trying to recreate the Keyblade War, and it's going to be a massive end-all fight, but eventually, at the end of that game, it's the end of the Xehanort saga, and we know this, so Xehanort is going to die, something is going to happen beyond that. Presumably it's this box. So, we will see. But, Unchained Key and Union Cross, don't worry, we're close. After the end of the Keyblade War, Ephema and Scold talk about their new roles as Union leaders given to them by Ava. They wait in the Keyblade graveyard for the other three before Ava sent Ephema to Union Cross's world. He was told about his new role as the Union leader. He and the others were to continue the unions in this new world and have the dandelions continue gathering light as if nothing happened. Their memories were to be wiped so none of them would remember the horror of the war, and the other instructions were to be found in the new books of prophecy given to the new Union leaders. It seems it was the Master of Masters' final task given to Ava. It's another quality quote from Nicole. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, Ventus from fucking BBS shows up. It appears he's one of the new Union leaders. Yeah, that's not a joke. That's actually not a joke. Ventus shows up. And the other two are Blaine, or Brain, and Laurium. And this is where we change things up. So, Elgato goes off. Here we go. So, Laurium. Laurium is Marluxia's somebody. Marluxia being the main villain of Chain of Memories. If you don't know anything about the Kingdom Hearts games, we will get there. Trust me, it will make sense later on. Remember this guy. It might be important in Kingdom Hearts 3. Laurium is Marluxia's somebody, and right before his reveal, we are shown that the 5th Union leader was actually supposed to be a girl named Strelitzia. And this is Strelitzia. Again, might be important here. So she was very shy and saw a lot of what our player character had been going through, but never approached him. When Ava bestowed upon her her new role, Strelitzia was afraid that the player would die in the war, and looked for them the next day. When looking in a warehouse, Strelitzia is attacked by another Keyblade wielder, her book taken, and is left to die. Everyone thought that she was going to be this massive character, and then she was immediately killed. Like, immediately. And no one saw this coming. So, with her Chirfi in her arms, her body and Chirfi disappear. Strelitzia's heart floats up into the sky. With all 5 Union leaders gathered, they begin to act as the foretellers and grant the dandelions new spirits to aid them in battle. Our player character specifically begins to have nightmares about the Keyblade War and remembers battles that happened in the old world. Chirfi reports this to Ephema and Scold, who reassure Chirfi that they'll eventually stop if they keep doing missions. Afterwards, Scold and Ephema know the darkness in this world is different than the last, and that already there is an event that is different from their books. Their next task is to set up Shift Pride, which seems to be a sort of recreational activity where the dandelions fight each other. None of the Union leaders particularly like the idea, considering what just happened. Ephema points out the data of the world before the Keyblade War was recorded. The data includes records of the worlds the player explored in the original Key game, the browser game, and the data about each Keyblade wielder. The Union leaders could use this data to present data opponents to each dandelion, preventing actual combat between them, basically. Ephema claimed he got this idea from Laurium, keyword this guy, who went to search the data to find a specific person. Laurium is then seen approaching Alina. Does she look familiar? 'Cause she should, if you know the series. This is Larxene somebody, and he is asking her about Strelitzia. It appears that Strelitzia is either Laurium or Alina's sister, but the lack of a pronoun makes the sibling difficult to identify, and as of today, we have no idea who Strelitzia's sibling, who murdered her, or how Alina and Laurium are related to the incident, or even how they're here, to be fair. So, Larxene, again, someone who will be in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and Marluxia and Larxene will also be in Kingdom Hearts 3. So, this is all important, this is why we're going over this. So, the final section, the connection to Kingdom Hearts 3, and this section, by the way, is not officially translated yet. It's still the Japanese version, no one's actually translated it, so just bear with. So, meanwhile, the player has just finished defeating Maleficent in a simulated enchanted dominion. This Maleficent is the real one and not a simulation. Master Xehanort told her the rules of time travel and took advantage of the point in time where Riku Ansem stabbed her with the Keyblade of People's Hearts and she lost her body, to travel back in time to change her fate in Enchanted Dominion and capture the 7 Princesses of Heart. However, Master fucking Deadpool, who has already seen the future, planned for this. All the worlds the player is visiting in Union Cross are data replicas of the worlds they visited in the original Key. 4 of those worlds were the homeworld of the 7 Princesses of Heart. After the Keyblade War, Cinderella and Aurora's worlds were added, making the division between the old and new worlds. The Master of Masters, knowing that Maleficent was going to travel back in time, made sure the Enchanted Dominion wasn't in the original world, so that Maleficent would travel to Union Cross's world and trap her in a data version of Enchanted Dominion, since she could only stop in moments of time where she had already existed, and since these are data worlds with fixed endings, she cannot change her future. There's a lot to take in there, especially if you don't know Dream Drop Distance and how it operates. I might read this section over again once we finish Dream Drop Distance, because that's so important. That's a lot to take in, but it does make sense, but god, that's mind-blowing. As an extra precaution, Radiant Garden is not present in either Key or Union Cross, although no reason has been given as to why this world, even as data, is so sensitive. So she was trapped in a data version of Enchanted Dominion in order to not disrupt the past with her memories of the future. And now, since she's trapped, she thinks there is no way back to the future, but apparently there's this mysterious blob thing that visits her and told her she is trapped, but also suggests there is a way back and doesn't elaborate. And that is the story so far. Are you lost yet? Are you confused? Because you should be. There's a lot to take in. But yes, that is how she came back in 2. There's a lot that just happened. Your brain should hurt. It all hurts. Help me, Lord. So, we're gonna start Birth by Sleep now. we're gonna start Birth by Sleep. That because I didn't mean to go to my actual account. I meant to go to it. Okay, so for Birth by Sleep, we're actually gonna do a different. We're gonna do a different account because I want to do a different account. So we'll go to the US account. So yeah, are you all confused? You should be. The confused. I have to find it somewhere. Look at all these games I have. There it is. Hooray! We found it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So if you're new to the Kingdom Hearts series, welcome. That's all very confusing, I'm aware, but it's also so important. So try and remember all of that. If you don't worry. You can either go back and watch this after the end, or I will also read some of that at the end. Okay? Good. So we're all clear. That's good stuff.